In this next chapter, we're going to take a look at high-impact plyometric exercises. This is not something that should be taken lightly. Players should do a 6 to 8 week training course in strength and conditioning first. They should build up that strength base. They should have leg stability before they go into high-impact plyometrics. So our first exercise is a 2-foot squat jump. Here we're going to show it with a hockey stick. We could progress to a level with a weight bar and a weight bar with weights. So players assuming that wide base position, we're still using our hockey training shoes, so we're hockey specific. We're going to get down into that low squat position, and it's important that players don't look down like this. If they look down, they'll tend their body to lean. They want to try to look up with their head and then jump. Our next plyometric exercise is to jump up the football stands, and would look like this. Our next exercise is 2-foot jumps side to side. So it will look like this. Now we're going to take a look at this exercise while moving. So we're doing 2-foot lateral jumps side to side over the line. And it will look like this. Here's a traditional hockey exercise that can easily be incorporated into everyone's workout. It's jump the hockey bag with lateral jumps. So looks like this. To take this exercise one step further, we're now going to jump over a bar side to side, and it would look like this. Our next exercise is a plyometric 2-foot jump on an incline which provides resistance. And the exercise will look like this. Now a variation on this 2-foot incline jump is to do this in a zigzag pattern, so we're going side to side, which starts to make this more hockey specific. And that would look like this. Another hockey-specific jumping exercise is to do 1-foot jumps side to side. The exercise will look like this. Now we're going to take a look at the most specific hockey plyometric exercise. And because of that, this exercise is called skater jumps. It's one-leg jumps where we're jumping side to side. And the first variation on this technique is to jump with the back leg extended out to the side. So we're going to get down to this low knee position. We're going to extend this back leg way out to the side and push and jump. Now our next variation on this skater jump is to jump by just having the back leg come behind the body. It's interesting to note that there are 3 different ways that we can jump. We could focus on width, how far wide we can go. We can focus on height, how far high we can go. And we could focus on length, how far forward we can go. We're still jumping side to side right now, and just the leg is behind the other leg. So it looks like this. Our next variation on this exercise is to do a skater jump and hold. This is for leg stability and core strength. Sometimes players jump to the side and they hop or they bounce. They can't stick and hold that jump. So they jump to the side and they wiggle a little bit before they jump back. So it should look like this. Another variation on this skater jumps is to jump twice with one foot and then jump to the side. It would look like this. Now we're going to transition these skater jumps from a standstill position to moving. We're going to combine the powerful jump to the side, the width, with the length, jumping forward. So it looks like this. So the most hockey-specific jumping exercise uphill is going to be our stride jumps. And that would look like this. The next hockey-specific jumping exercise is crossover jumps. First, we'll take a look at these standing in place. So it goes like this. Now we're going to take a look at these crossover jumps while moving, and it would look like this. Another way to work on this crossover jump is by jumping up the stands. The exercise would look like this. Now we're going to take a look at these 1-foot jumping exercises while moving. So we not only have that width again, but we have the length jumping forward. And first with the right foot. And now our 1-foot jumps on the left leg. Our next exercise is a frog jump. Seems like a little kid exercise, but it provides a very deep knee bend squat followed by the jump. So it looks like this. Another variation on the frog jumps is to keep the knees in the middle of the body and put the hands down to the outside. Would look like this. Our next exercise is called Heiden jumps, named after the famous speed skater Eric Heiden. He was a 5-time speed skating Olympic gold medalist in 1980. The exercise looks like this. We're going to get down into a very deep knee bend squat. We're swinging our arms. We're going to make 2 little bunny hops followed by a very explosive high jump. So it looks like this. Now we're going to take a look at the vertical jump test as one of the best measurements for hockey skating speed. NHL tests have shown that the player that jumps the highest is the fastest skater. NHL vertical jump tests around 28 to 29 inches for the fastest player. Here's how it works. Players stand in front of a wall, or you could use a vertical jump tester, and they measure how far they can reach standing still. So as far as I can reach, and then what I'm going to do is jump and see how many I can smack out of the way, and we measure the distance in between. That's your vertical jump. Would look like this. So there it is, 7 to 31, it's a 24-inch vertical jump. I'd like to show you an inexpensive way that you can do this vertical jump test at home. If you don't have a $700 to $1,000 vertical jump tester, you can just put tape on the wall. You'd still do the pre-test to measure how far you can reach. So you hold your arm up straight and you mark off where you're at in inches. And you want to make sure that you don't stretch your shoulder. You don't go like this and reach, and you keep it level, and it's just how far you can reach. And then you're going to jump up and touch the wall. Usually you put some chalk on your fingers, and you could measure the distance here, and that would give you your vertical jump in inches as well too. So it would look like this. And then what I do is I would subtract the top from the bottom. That would give me my vertical jump. But I'd also like to tell you that besides testing, you can do this just in training. So training against any wall or pole where you can just practice jumping up and touching and doing sets of, let's say, 10 to 20 jumps. Our next exercise is the forward long jump. This could be done as a test, as a benchmark to see how much explosive power the player has forward. It could also be done as a training exercise. And then we could borrow this from track and field and change the angle of our feet to make this more hockey specific, like we did in the On Ice DVD. So instead of just bringing our toes up to the line and jumping, we're going to bring our toes up to the line in that forward V position. And just like we did the jump dive on the ice, we're going to make this long jump forward, so it looks like this. Our next plyometric jumping exercise is called calf jumps, sometimes referred to as the on-ice movement of toe flicking. So here, the player's going to try to keep their legs straight and just flex with the ankle. Very important that the player uses these dryland hockey shoes so that the ankle just moves up and down like this. If they're in tennis shoes, they're going to involve the ball of the foot and bend in a manner that we don't bend on the ice. The exercise looks like this. If plyometric training exercises are considered dangerous, these next series of exercises take this one step further. We're doing single leg squat jumps. The back leg now is going to be supported by a bench or a box. It's very serious training. Don't try these if you're not ready for these series of exercises. So one leg squat jumps, you're going to bend down real low and thrust up and jump. To make this exercise more difficult, we're going to do these one leg jump squats with the back leg on a stability ball. And it will look like this. The last of our single leg squat jumps is to do this with no bench, no stability ball, and just balance by ourselves. The exercise will look like this. Now we're going to take a look at crossovers over 6-inch mini hurdles and 12-inch mini hurdles. It would look like this. Another jumping exercise that we can do is side jumps over 6-inch and 12-inch mini hurdles. The pattern's going to look like this. We're going to jump 2 down and 1 back. Looks like this. The highest impact plyometric exercise that we're going to demonstrate in this DVD is depth jumps. And a player gets on a bench, a box, a chair, and is going to step off and just come down to a squat position. So they're going to lead with the right or the left foot and just come down and land and squat back up. Players will do reps of 10 and sets of 2 or 3. Stepping off, squat down, come back up. Players should switch legs. So I did 2 on the right. I would then lead with the left, even though both feet are hitting the same time. Just want to make sure that I'm alternating. Now, in the progression of depth jumps, that's the first of the series of exercises. From there, we would go to a depth jump and then explode straight up in the air. And it would look like this. So just stepping out, straight down, explode up. From here, in the next of our progression, the player will jump down or step off, jump up, and from landing, they'll sprint forward. And the exercise would look like this. The last of our hockey-specific jumping exercises is, did I say hockey? Okay, here we go. The last of our hockey-specific jumping exercises is called box strides, and it looks like this. Player's going to have one leg on top, and they're going to stride and jump in the air and switch to the other side as fast as they can.